thing. There you go. Make co-host. Co-host. It'll be fine. That'll help. All right, y'all. Here we are. Okay, we're on YouTube. Now you're probably gonna shut that off. It's gonna loop. Make co-host.
Did I shut it? This?
Yeah, shut off that one. All right, y'all. Here we are too. Okay. Or mute it. Here we go. Everyone, that's the camera. Alex, say hi, Alex. Hi, Alex. High five, Alex. Okay, a tickle for you then. Okay, here we are. Well, wait, Eric's not in. Oh, goober.
He's hiding.
I'm gonna send Eric over to you, Chantel.
I'm with the tape.
All right. Cheers, Chantel. Yay! 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 Hey, Hadassah wants in. Here, Daddy will hold you. So, nightcap with Carlos and Chantel and the gang. Get along, gang. Here, we're all here. But we're here in Texas with Eric and Katrina, Hadassah, and Alex. This is Alex. That's Hadassah. That's Katrina. That's Eric. Is he in it? Oh yeah, he's in it. You want to lean over towards us? This is Randy. And I'm Carlos. That's my gorgeous bride and my belly best friend Chantel back in Georgia. Hi, beautiful.
Hello. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, good to see you. You looking hot, baby.
It is kind of hot in here.
Yeah, we're about to turn the fan on here too. Nice and cozy.
And I realized the guineas didn't get put in the coop, and I have the windows open, so they're loud.
Oh, we can't hear it. They're good about Zoom's good about, canceling out the loud noises.
We should be good.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, nightcap time.
Nightcap.
Oh my God. We've been having fun. So we just barely made it. Like we scrambled to get in here real quick. We're like, we got 1 hour. Let's go. And because we have, so the story, we're going to make a reel out of it. We recorded it. Randy helped us. But we were like, we were rental car. I had rented, you could see on my reservation, it was like a SUV type. And once we got to the airport, I was like, okay, here we go, Randy. We're getting our rental car. And then they were like, hey, we could give you an upgrade for free because doesn't look like they're available right now. But there's a cool supercharger over there. A supercharger, Dodge supercharger, right?
Yeah, we went 4x4ing and then again in the sports car.
Yeah, so like coming in here wasn't so bad. We had the supercharger. Hey. She's fine. She's fine. So we had the supercharger instead because supposedly we were getting an upgrade, a nice sports car, and I got duped with the sports car, and I was like, cool, we're cruising in the sports car, and then we hit the dirt road that comes to Eric and Katrina's ranch, and I was like, oh my gosh, Brandy, I forgot about this road, and I was like, well, let's take this other. We went the back way first, and it was worse the back way. And I was like, okay. So we went back to the front way, and we made it in. We were like, we made it, yeah. And then I was like,
then
it rained and poured and dumped, and I was like, how the heck are we getting out of here? So we're trapped. So we were calling the county. Can you come help us? I'm trapped in here. And they're like, sorry, we can't help you. Like, oh my gosh. So Eric, boys and their toys and their tractors, right? So Eric got his sweet little tractor out, and I'm impressed. Kubota is my new friend, and you all know I got a Kubota, or maybe you don't, but this is Eric on his Kubota.
Nice.
Yep, and Eric has a little Kubota. He saved the day. He cleaned it up enough to where even the shortest of vehicles get through. And what proved that it wouldn't work is actually Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night,
Yeah.
we had some friends here, and they got stuck in their van. Their van was going through. They were good coming this way. It's on the way out. It's worse. The mud's thicker, and they got bogged down. And they got stuck. You want me to hold you good, Dawson? Yes. No. Yes. You want my watch? Want to hold his watch? Want me to hold you? Oh, you want to try my watch?
You
Okay, here
try
you
to
go.
watch out.
You get a toy. Here you go. Check it out.
Thank you.
Don't call
Probably
me
she's
back.
gonna do the code like 20 times on it. It won't work.
Your watch will be locked down.
I know, right? Anyways, it's beautiful. So yeah, that was kind of what we did right before, because what we decided was, because I have to fly out early. We're going to the airport like at 5 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this in the morning. There's not gonna be any light. So we decided to do it tonight. So we're like, we have an hour, let's go. And we did it. We got through it. Eric was a champ. He did good with this tractor, cleared it out. And then I zipped through there. We got on video. Right, Randy?
We did. Yep.
That was pretty cool. Flew right through there.
Yeah, so we'll be sharing that video. But anyways, nightcap, what about you? That's just like what happened last hour.
How nice.
I was like that.
All of you together, and that's your story.
Somebody else can talk. I just say cheers. This is what keeps my mouth shut.
There. Cheers.
Among other things.
We're gonna break our glasses.
So, as far as my day goes, on the women's call, which also had to do with lots of, my mentorships, was the topic of release. Release. There's a lot of release. Sometimes it's forced. Sometimes it's by choice, right? Recognizing that there's different seasons in our life that require release in some form of fashion. I just got off another call that had to do with friendships in different seasons, right? Releasing friends that are, not beneficial. And it was interesting because, for some reason, like there's this obligation when people reach out to you, old friends, like, do you feel obligated to then meet up with them? But if it sets us in a tailspin and we wonder what their intentions are, I would have you ask the question, like, why do you feel obligated? Right? Is it okay to release people in and out of seasons that you don't trust their intentions? It's okay to release, right? We released our beloved family dog last week, and have just had meltdown after meltdown, and recognizing like today I had to put my big girl panties on and move forward, right? Because it's what we have to do still in seasons of release. We have children, like we don't stop being parents when the seasons are hard. We have to push through and release.
Right. So true. So true.
And we have loved ones, we have friends that are, health problems, have to release. We have businesses and homes that we have to release. Like it's a theme of, and what that looks like across the board. Right. So just a lot of releasing today.
It's totally. And that's kind of why we're here. We've been working on some things and transition, right? Business stuff, and super pumped. That's where we're all together. I have the privileges of working with Chantel. You and I have been working with Brandy and with Katrina and Eric and the kids here and their families, but they both have businesses, and now Brandy coming to help manage this business and create some more freedom for them. So you're right. It's a matter of releasing.
You didn't trick.
So yeah, totally true. You know, even just the idea of being in control of everything, but allowing someone else to come in and help manage things, operations, and which is going to free up, you know, Eric and Katrina. But that, you're right. There's been a lot of transition to be able to figure that out, what that looks like to release things and activities and things that they normally do, right? So, but yet, it's a beautiful thing. It really, really is. So they would be heading to Libby soon. That's going to be an awesome thing, but they definitely have to release the responsibilities here in order for that to receive the new, right? Super true, super wise. And that's a transition, like anything, you know, when it's an and suddenly, like what we experienced with Kona passing, and we will share more about that story in future for sure, because it's a very powerful story for both Chantel and I. We definitely want to be together and share it, that we decided that. But yeah, that's traumatic. And you know, one thing I heard recently, Chantel, maybe you can agree with this. It's like when what trauma does is accelerates the speed of the change.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not always fun and easy, but it can. It definitely can. Right. So when you have suddenly happen and trauma that suddenly you have to make a change, right? We're forced, like you said, to put on your big girl panties. And when I get home, I'll help you take them off, but that's beside the point. But I, you know, I couldn't help it. But
This is what happens when we are apart for, too long.
miss you long time.
What?
You missed it. That's all right.
Eric, you missed it?
He missed it. It's you know, and he's been sharing some of their funnies too as well. We encourage our couples. By the way, this is Brandy, all of you. She is single, a single, incredible mother.
Single and open.
That's right, and ready.
Possibilities.
We will be interviewing any potential candidates.
They gotta go
That's right. I'm Big Brother. So,
She's ready to release her singlehood
that's right.
and receive a beautiful marriage, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Well said.
But yeah, that's good. Good stuff. So that's been the theme. How about you guys? How you doing with releasing? Sometimes releasing could be as simple as going to the bathroom, and sometimes it could be major. They're both effective and essential. So how you been doing that?
Are you asking me?
Have you been constipated, Eric? Or?
Bring your coffee. You're on.
Cheers. Cheers to that. Good coffee.
Do you have the chat on?
Oh, I guess not. We forgot to fix that. Okay, carry on, Eric. How is your?
You got that?
Go ahead.
So it's interesting that you guys talking about releasing things, because that's exactly that's even the word that I got this morning was about releasing,
True.
changing, repent. The Bible calls it repentance, but it's releasing the old so that you can embrace the new.
So good.
And Christians talk about repentance, all this, this super spiritual thing, but it's pretty practical.
Yep.
About just releasing the old things so that you can accept the new and the better and the level up. And
It is true. If you look at when we release things, it's painful. But I go back to even like the reality of there with no pain, is there ever really any gain? If it's easy to release something, did you actually release it, or was it actually anything that would benefit you? If it's easy, so I think even going back to like workouts, you worked out today, Chantel. How you feel? We had a week off. Oh, I'm gonna be
I
working out
literally,
Wednesday.
I thought I was gonna throw up, guys. Like, it was bad. It was good. It was really good, but it was really bad.
So I mean, it's painful. Like we're sore for a couple days. Like, damn, I did this on purpose. But it is then you get the muscle gain, you get the tone, you get the health, you get the fitness, you get the ability to be out there shoveling at night, like I was last night. We were trying to clear that water out of there. We're trying to clear that hole out by hand and by tractor.
I bet you got a little muddy.
I got a little muddy. I got sweaty. I think I used a old shirt. I think. I can't remember.
Maybe you have to
Listen.
release something.
I had to really. Good job, Aaron. Yes. It wasn't an Epic Your Life shirt, though. I do know that. Can I hold you? Can I hold you?
Goodness child.
Oh, I know I'm not Chantel.
I see.
They missed you. They did. They were looking for you.
Aw. They saw me.
They see you.
Just say hi.
Hi, Hadassah.
Can you say please? You don't. Then just say
I want
hi.
to say please.
Say please or hi. One of them? No. I just gotta release it, Hadassah.
So we have a comment that says, I've been releasing my judgment of people's character.
It's true.
A beautiful thing to release.
It is. That's a good point.
Judgment.
So you get to see them in a different lens, right?
Yeah.
Super true. If we don't release how we currently see them, we don't have an opportunity to see them in a different way, right? It's so interesting how that is. And ourselves, judgment of ourselves, right? When we go through the forgiveness, the triggers to triumph, we talk about that a lot, how important it is to release the judgment and to forgive ourselves.
Where you go?
I think
Otherwise, what's that?
I think, this topic of releasing judgment, right, of somebody's character is really good in the way of, if we have judgment on somebody, and it may be accurate, like it may be warranted, so to speak, like we could justify why we have judgment on that character based on their behavior, right? So then we're quick to like put them in that box, right? Oh, that person just does this, and they're always going to do that, even, right? So we put them up in a box, and then we lock it and keep it there, right? But the truth is that we're all worthy of change and growth. And we're not God. We're not in charge of that change or growth of other people. We're in charge of our own change and growth, right? But if in our lens, we don't create space for somebody else to learn and grow and to do something different, then guess what? We're literally going to create the same behavior over and over and over again. We're going to receive that same mentality, that same thing that we're judging. We're just going to create that over and over again. So we have to release it in order to create the space for somebody else to do something new, right?
So true. So true. Help them. The best way we can help someone have a better story is to see them in a better story. Right? And like I said, ourselves included, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can be hardest on myself. I can judge myself really harsh, and I think most people do.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we judge ourselves and we see ourselves in a certain story. I mean, I've been stuck in many stories in my life, having to do with being a good husband, being a good father, being a good business owner, whether people should work with me or not, like all the judgments I have, you know, which keep me stuck if I stay in that story. So my own judgment matters too, how I see myself.
Yeah. I think something that, you know, I'm seeing and what I saw today kind of across the board is the idea of, or the sort of like the identity challenge of my decisions are good, right? We judge ourselves because of some of our past decisions, failures, if you will, right? Things that we have experienced because of those decisions, challenges it created, all of those things, right? So when we make new decisions, rightly so, we're going to feel the effects of that. We're going to feel that attack that, you know, and oftentimes it's from ourselves.
Yeah. Well,
We
let
might
me ask you a question,
we
Chantel.
might get it from
Let
other
me get
people.
your professional opinion on this. Like, how do you best? Because right, other people's opinions too that we're close to, right? Especially when they're trying to confirm what we're already feeling and thinking, right? She's gone through it with family. Are you crazy? Why would you go to the U.S.? She's from Canada. Like, why would you go there and start working and doing this stuff? And yeah, what was one comment? Have you lost your mind?
Are you mentally
Are you
stable?
mentally stable? So my point in saying that is like there's a good confirmation of self-doubt and fear already, right? That we have.
Totally.
Someone confirms it. Like, how do we battle those things? What are your thoughts on that, Dave?
I think, you know, sometimes we allow the one that brings that confirmation of that doubt to overpower the many for some reason. So I think sometimes we just have to consciously flip the script and be like, okay, yes, I recognize and I take ownership of my self-doubt, my insecurities, my shit decisions that have got me into trouble before, right? But if I look at those decisions, would I take them back?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not
Okay.
if we know it led us to who we are now.
But did they grow us? Did they bless us with beautiful children? Did they, I mean, listen, Brandy, from one single mama to another, having been there, like, yeah, I went through a little bit of hell because of some of those decisions. But guess what? I have two beautiful children who I wouldn't trade for the world. And I know you do too. Right? So, you know, those decisions create the people that we are. They strengthen us. They give us the grit that we need, you know, in different seasons, right? But so when we have that admitted self-doubt, so we attack ourselves with our decisions, right? For one naysayer that wants to confirm our inner battle, how many loads of encouragement do we have?
Right.
Like, I think we discount that a little bit for some reason.
I think so. I think you're right. That is discounted for sure.
Like, why? Why do we discount the so many supporters and encouragers and people that we have in our life? And we want to hold on to the one naysayer that speaks straight into our own insecurity.
Right. It's like they confirm it, so it's like it must be real.
Right.
I wonder if it's like in the past, it would be like your old identity that you're letting go of too, right? So you're letting go of that old person that you used to be. And so when you're stepping into something, you see you're stepping in and it's still like, do I step over to this threshold or don't I?
Yeah.
And then you got one foot in and you got the other foot on the other side. And then there's one person that takes you right back in. Like, it's easier to go backwards than it is sometimes to go forward, right? So we fall
that's
back.
true.
Well, I literally just, the last mentorship I was on brought back the bucket of crabs, right? Right. So you have the crabs who are trying to pull you back down. You're like, I'm going that way. And they're like pulling on you or whatever. So you're out of the bucket. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're out of the bucket. Then you have this one claw that just like somehow finds itself over the bucket. You're like, hi, do you want a piece of me?
So true.
Maybe you can pull me back down. And they're like, yeah, I want you. And it's up to you. Deuces, I'm out. I'm making a decision.
Yeah. So
That's
good.
all we got to do. We got to make a decision and just be like, bye.
Ah,
I'm
totally
on my
agree
way.
with you.
You know what I mean?
I think as we evolve as people too, and we change, like I was thinking about that on the mentorship call too, because of, how people come in and out of our lives, like, people get married, your friends change. When I got divorced, my friends changed, and as we grow forward and as we grow, people don't like it when we grow.
That's right.
People don't like us better. They don't like it. It's very intimidating.
So
Yeah,
true.
right? So you step into another level and then you see these other people kind of going, what's going on? She's no longer safe, right?
Right.
Does that
Well,
make sense?
True.
So this particular bucket of crabs that I was talking about was singles.
Yeah.
The one who got out of the bucket, got married, right? And so then she's like, oh, but that was comfortable. I miss them. What the heck? So the same is true for dreams and goals. Oh, the bucket full of crabs is people who are so scared to go after their dreams and goals. They're not willing to take a risk. They're just going to stay in their old habits, their old cycles, their old culture, whatever it is. They're staying there because it's safe. That's safe. So you're like, I'm going out. I'm like, I'm ready to take this risk. This risk is worth it, right? And they're like, no, that's scary. But guess what happens when you jump out of that bucket? They're like, oh, I want out of the bucket. Maybe if she can get out of the bucket, maybe I can too. Oh, that's when you see inspiration. That's when you see trailblazers freaking blazing a trail for their family and friends. That's when you see generations changed because one person crossed the pond.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
For you, it's crossed the border. But my parents went over the pond from Germany, right? And then family came. It's been done for centuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally agree. So good.
Super
All
good.
fired up.
Fire's coming back.
That's right. The lioness is waking up. Yeah. And it doesn't get easier, but it gets worth it.
Yeah. So really,
Moving to the States is probably the hardest decision to make because of everyone's opinions and everybody's, thoughts and stuff. But it's interesting. It was the fear of staying the same that kept me going. Like I'm like, I don't want to stay here, so let's go. let's hightail it to the border because I'm not staying here any longer. So
That's right.
I think that's what motivates people, right? Maybe that's what you said.
Yeah, that's right. When the fear of staying the same is greater than actually, when your fear of change is greater, or your fear of staying the same is greater than the fear of change, that's when you change. There we go. So you've got the fear of staying the same is actually finally greater of your fear of change, because it is. Fear of change is real. So when we can finally understand and say, yeah, this is greater, I don't want to stay the same anymore. And part of it is seeing the lives around us It's real. It's okay to do that. It's not judgment. That's like, okay, I don't want their life. If I stay the same, then I'm gonna be just like them. I don't want that. And it's okay to do that and say, so I'm gonna change.
So I also, I mean, we talked about on our last Coffee Connect, we talked about the return culture, right? We talked about the return culture and how it has diminished us as a such society, our number one, our willingness to take a risk, right? So how do we combat it? We have to take risks.
Come on.
We have to exercise the muscle of taking a risk and knowing that, guess what? If it sucks, I'm going to create something better. Guess what? If I don't risk it, I'll never know. So then we have a regret culture.
Yeah, so true.
Right? Would we rather take a risk? Or do we want to regret that we never did? What is the possibilities if we take a risk? I mean, the possibilities are there. And if we don't, you have no possibilities. You just stay where you're at. Right?
So true, man. Good stuff, love. Good stuff. I love when you're fired up, baby. And usually it's your pain that fires you up at times,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on the phone with this woman for the last few days because I left Friday. Last week I'm coming home tomorrow, but me being gone, our whole system is usually Kona's there. Our dog takes up my space while I'm gone. And the reality is she's not there anymore. That's the truth of the situation. Doesn't make it easier. But we do it. We do it. We feel the pain, feel the hurt. It's interesting when you were messaging, and I appreciate Layla on here too as well. Layla Kaufman has a dog, Yabo, and they're super close to Yabo. And Yabo and Kona were awesome friends. They stayed with us for a season, and Yabo and Kona hung out. And man, Layla was sending those pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh. Of the dogs playing in the ocean, and it's good to feel that. But it's like it's funny because I could hear myself saying, man, it's too much. It's too much. But it's good. Because for me, I mean, everyone deals with trauma and pain differently, but for me, it's like, you know what? As silly as this sounds, I love my dog so much, Kona, that's been there for 10 years. Like, for her, I will work hard. You know what I mean? Like, it inspires me to do more. It inspires me that Kona could do it. Here, our dog, we'll share a story, but still, man, she pushed through so much pain and just kept loving us in spite of the pain. It's super powerful. So if Kona can do it, I can do it. I mean, it's like, I don't have any excuses. And, that is part of what we're working here with, which is kind of ironic. The day before I fly here, Kona passes our beloved dog, our pet for 10 years, Hazel 15, and says, I don't even remember life without Kona, right? Because she was 5 when Kona showed up, or 4.5. But the point being is like, that's what this is. This is a puppy business, and a very incredible, excellent puppy business that we're getting the opportunity to help and serve and be a part of. And so that's why I'm here. And I'm here to see it do well. All these transitions and growth of the company. We've been a part of it for a couple of years, and it's been awesome. And I will tell you that it's a privilege to me. Like, I know that because of the pain of Kona's death, that it makes this business so much more important to me, because we are able through this business to bless some lives with quality puppies, quality dogs. And so it's crazy how timing of things, right? I know that phrase even, again, Leyland and Kane Kaufman gave it to us, but it's so real to me in this situation. God, with his wisdom, allows what he could prevent with his power. I know that, you know, and not that he caused Kona's death, but there is no doubt that, bam, in a second, he could have healed that beautiful dog of ours. But again, his wisdom is, look, timing. This situation will make you more passionate, Carlos, to where that you want to see this business flourish and see more lives change because of those puppies, because of those dogs that go home with people. So we are blessed to be a part of some incredible companies. Yeah. Epic Your Life, we're all about from single to married, creating extraordinary. But this is one of those awesome opportunities where Eric and Katrina are a couple that we've worked with. Brandy, the single that we've worked with, and we help them in their businesses, and we're collaborating now on such higher levels, and getting to grow their businesses and grow their influence on the world is going to make a difference in the world. So it does. I'm blessed because business is my background. You're an expert in trauma, babe. You know, and between the two of us, we're able to help a lot of lives and change a lot of lives. It's real, but timing is crazy, but it's real. So,
I think, I think an important factor is to recognize that when we're releasing, right, whether it's an animal, a human being, a home, a business, a country, we have to embrace and allow ourselves to mourn and to grieve what once was. Okay. So recognizing that we all feel that transition, it's important to feel that. It's important to allow ourselves that grief, that release, those emotions, the memories, all of those things, they are real and they are a part of our lives. So when we release, then we create the freedom to embrace what we have to receive, what God has for us to receive. And sometimes we don't even know that, right? Like, I thought I had 2 more years with Kona.
That's right.
Legitimately, 2 more years. I don't understand the timing.
Yes.
But I can trust that God wants me to release.
Come on.
Now.
So good.
So guess what? I get to fully release. I get to fully grieve and mourn what once was. And then I get to receive whatever it is that he has in this next season. And that's life.
Yes.
That's the truth of life, and it's the truth of our experiences and our losses, you know?
When you guys lost your puppy, I was reminded of when I used to do puppies like 4 years ago, and I did my puppies were called Puppies with Purpose or Puppies on a Mission or something. And it was because it was healing my kids through the divorce, and these puppies kept them busy and kept them had their mind on something, and it was something that they could pour themselves into as we were, processing the divorce and as they were processing it. And so that was my vision. And so when I talked to these people, I would share my vision with these people. And so then they would come and share with me, well, I just lost my wife, or I just lost, there was all these different stories that would show up on my doorstep, and they were grieving people that were dealing with numerous different things. But I kind of forgot about that. And as you guys have been grieving Kona, it reminded me of how important these animals are to people and how they heal our hearts and how they heal, and when they leave us, it's heartbreaking, and it's something that we really have to process and something that we really have to go through, because they're just like our people, right? Because they get us through the toughest and the hardest times of our lives. And so I really believe that this is part of that mission continuing, and maybe that was one of the reasons why, I don't know, but it's, that's what we're going to do, is minister to these people that are broken because of numerous different things that are going on.
That's right. They represent.
Do you know what our tagline is now?
No.
Is leaving paw prints on hearts.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, it's okay. It's just like
Hidden Acres Puppies, leaving paw prints on hearts. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's just that
It's
was
real.
my.
It's real.
That's what we did.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
was
real. It does.
his purpose. That was why we got Kona. It was a very difficult time in our lives, and I knew that Carlos needed a purpose.
Yes,
Yep.
she did. Such
Yep.
wisdom.
You know, that was how she came into our lives. So undoubtedly, you know, it still remains.
Yes. So Chantel, for others that may be watching this, and you just went through the pain of loss. So I'm sure that somebody watching this is definitely losing someone or has lost someone recently, and there's pain. What are your thoughts, baby? What would you say to them?
Feel it, embrace it, acknowledge it. Seasons are there for a reason, and the season of grief doesn't last forever. You know, that doesn't mean you don't get reminded. That doesn't mean things don't come up. I mean, Katrina, you know that very well, you know, but we have to embrace it. We have to acknowledge it, and we have to allow our emotions to flow, right? Because if we don't, it only harms us
That's good.
internally and physically, right? Like, you know, we don't want to stifle anything. It's like kind of like the way our body naturally releases toxins, right? We pee, we poo, like that's normal, that's healthy. So if we don't release our emotions, if we don't feel the pain and we don't, you know, allow ourselves to let it flow out of us, that's what creates, you know, health issues mentally, emotionally, physically, and you know, so embrace it and be grateful for that blessing in your life, you know.
No regrets. None at all. Just gratitude. It's good. Super good. And then if you have some that are still alive, your loved ones that you really, really care about, let this be an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to call them tonight and check in with them. I'm going to go visit them, make time for them, right? They're important to you. Let this be a reminder that it's important for us to make time for people we love. That's what matters. Animals or people. It's serious. It's real.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, babe. You're amazing. Love you. Glad I get to be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow night can't come fast enough. So good. All right. Any last comments? Anyone? No. Katrina, you've been quiet. Got any words of
all
wisdom?
good.
It's all good.
Babysitting.
Alex, any words of wisdom?
What do you want to say? Was the gum good? Was the gum good?
Alex, say, release it.
Release it. No, he's shy. Too much, folks.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Release it.
Yeah, release it.
It didn't work. I
Must not
thought
be on your
fireworks might work.
Are you on your
Yes.
computer?
No, you're right. I don't know what.
You have to have probably an Apple.
I didn't know if it was Zoom or if it was a computer. Must be the Apple computer. See, we just learned something. We're on Eric's computer.
Mine's Apple too, and it doesn't work. So
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
debunk that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this evening, all y'all. We had a family event here, which was awesome. We love that. We're all about relationships and family and connection. My wife and I, that's what we do, Chantel and I, helping people to have epic relationships. And so thanks for being a part of this. We will see you soon. Cheers, everyone. Everyone in. Cheers. Da, 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 da. We got to do a final cheers. Cheers. L'chaim. Have a good night. Love you guys.